What is going on, folks? CastleCrag back with some more Slay the Spire 2, and we have unlocked the defect. So we'll be taking our first run with him in Slay the Spire 2. Very curious to see. This was my second favorite game from the first, or second favorite game, second favorite character from the first game. And it was pretty close between the defect and the silent. At one point, the defect was my favorite, but I ended up... One other thing, by the way, that I want to talk about is something I realized about a card that I had talked about. Where is it? Omnislice. Deal 8 damage, damage all other enemies equal to the damage dealt. After some thinking, I kind of realized why it's phrased that way. Because I said last time, that's stupid. Why not just 8 damage to all enemies? Because it is actually different, right? So if you deal 8 damage to all enemies, then it only does the damage to each enemy along with their debuffs that it would normally do. So if we have a card like... so for an example, right? Cleave, a normal card that says deal 8 damage to all enemies, right? That's a common card for... Or at least in the first game, it was a common card for Ironclad here. I don't see it. I think they took it out of this game, right? But it would do 8 damage to each enemy, and if that a particular enemy had, say, vulnerable on it, it would do 12 damage, right? Because it's 50% more. But it would only do 12 damage to one of the enemies. With Omnislice, you could have vulnerable on only one enemy. This would say, okay, deal 8 damage, and now it becomes 12 damage to that enemy, and also deal that same amount of damage to all the other ones. So it would deal 12 damage to every enemy, as opposed to 12 to one of them that has vulnerable, and 8 to the rest of them. Another interaction would be, say, with our run winning card that we got with this tracking right here. Weak enemies take double damage from attacks. If one enemy was weak and you chose to use it on that enemy, it would do 16 damage to all enemies as opposed to only the weak enemies. So it does make a difference. So I was wrong. I think there was another interaction card that I mentioned where I was wrong about something that I thought of today. Because again, I'm recording this the day after the previous 4 videos. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started on the defect run. New leaf, transform 1 card. Okay, add Meow's Fury. 10 damage. 2 random cards from your discard pile into your hand, and it's not that good. Transform a card and remove 2 cards are both fairly good for defect. I think the more reliable is remove a strike and a defend. I think that's the more reliable option here. So we are looking for early upgrades with the defect. Zap's a good upgrade, dual cast's a good upgrade to start, and whatever cards we pick up, of course. So I'm looking for a number of upgrades. Defect has a bit of a weak start, potentially, to the game. Kind of depends on what cards you get offered, right? So I like kind of making my way up here. Maybe I'll take 2 fights because I want some cards. So take 2 fights, get to this, and see if we have enough for the shop or not, and then continue on. And we'll decide at this point whether we can take on an elite early enough or not. Again, I don't know all of the elites in the game, and I think we're in the water area, so I know the enemies even less than I would have known them otherwise. But yeah, let's keep going with this. I like 3 campfires. Is 3 the most I can get? Yes. Unless wing boots is a thing. So yeah, I like this path. Let's do it. 11 damage to start. Yikes. Yeah. 8 damage. We're already kind of low on health, so I'll do that because dual cast wins. So Dex potion. And And I think I was guaranteed. Whenever you play a power, gain energy. Oh. Okay. That's a new one. So that makes, basically this says each power costs 1 less. Defect is pretty strong with powers. And since Chosen One's not in this game, that might be good. Gain 1 focus this turn. I don't like that. Gain 2 focus this turn for each unique orb that you have, and then exhaust? That's not great. I mean, for each unique orb, I guess. But still, that's not great. And it's only for 1 turn, and then it is... Yeah, wow. I wonder if they really heavily nerfed focus. Sludge Spinner. Okay, 8 damage and a debuff. Well, we're taking some damage early on. And this is what happens with the defect, is you take damage early on. Subroutine right now is just a curse. I will play a Zap so that we can dual cast for the win. Again, we're guaranteed dual cast because of how we cut a card from the deck. Beetlejuice. Enemies' attacks deal 30% less damage for the next 4 turns. Not bad. Chaos. 1 or 2 random orbs. That's not bad. Gain 2 focus this turn. As a 0 cost, that's okay. But do I want to draw it at any point, right? That's my thought, is do I actually want this in my hand at any point? I'd rather have Chaos. Chance to strike or defend with Spiral. Replay it. Okay. Heal for 20. I'm just going to heal. That fixes a lot of things. 126 gold. Here's my thought. I come up here, and hopefully we get enough cards. And gold. Oh, yikes. Okay. So we're no longer guaranteed dual cast in our 3rd hand. Or, you know, I guess technically we weren't always. We were only guaranteed it if we drew it in the 1st turn. Glass. Passive. At the end of turn, deal 4 damage to all enemies and reduce this orb's value by 1. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Play this guy, and I want to get rid of each enemy. Basically, I just want to get rid of enemies. Well, we can defend for the full amount here. Okay. It does die this turn, no matter what we do. Synchronize. Tempest Uproar. Deal 5 damage twice. Play a random attack from your draw pile. These are not very good. Hey, I just realized Tempest doesn't exhaust. That's interesting. Tempest used to exhaust. Okay. I mean, I almost would have preferred that it exhausts, you know? Need to deal damage here. Yeah. Oh boy. I think we just tank the damage here, unfortunately. Three more, so 1, 16 and 9. Not quite enough to kill, right? It's 16. Yeah, 1, 2 evokes. Darn. Just getting chunked. Do I take a claw? I mean, claw. To be clear, claw wasn't that good in the first game. It wasn't bad. You know, it's some damage. So. I think we go chaos. So what? Okay. 140 health. First time it reaches 70 or below, it becomes stunned. Okay. Oh, I see. We can shrink enemies. That's cool, actually. I play that guy, and then I want that not in the draw. I'm playing it just so that it no longer appears in my draw from here on. Get a dark orb and a frost orb, so some more block. We'll zap, defend. So this guy looks like just a big chungus attacker. And we're doing our best to not take damage. we are quite weak here. Chaos. Is that a plasma orb? Oh, I did not know plasma orbs were in this game. So I think we can... Yeah, we can definitely break it here. And next turn we have extra energy. It is now going to debuff us. Less than ideal, but whatever. Vulnerable. Oh my gosh. Okay. Get a plasma orb. Dual cast and kill. Okay. Whew. At the start of your third turn, gain 3 energy. Okay. Fusion. Channel a plasma. Not great. Frost. I mean, we'll take a cool-headed. Cool-headed is always a good card. First time you draw a status card each turn, draw 2. Okay. I don't hate that. What do you upgrade to? Draw 3? Yeah. Dolly's Mirror, Strike Dummy. We have 2 golds, 2 rares. Gain an orb slot, draw a card, and increase its cost. That seems strong. Huh. Adaptive Strike also seems potentially strong. What are we looking at so far? I'm taking modded. That seems fun. Blood Vial. Some heal is nice. I'm going to take straight path up here. What do you got? You're applying afflictions. I didn't take a power, so we don't hear that much here. What can you give me? Chaos. Nearly full defense. Smoggy. That's new. You can only play 1 skill per turn. What the... Alright. Well... Not a big fan of that. And it's going to summon this turn. I literally can't play the rest of my hand with that. Punk ass. That's a pretty bad affliction, honestly. Wait, every turn? Honestly, this might just kill me by itself. I definitely thought that was only going to be on the singular turn that it actually applied. Like, I for sure did not think that was going to be this turn. I can kill these things at least. Yeah, that's the most block I can get. And it dies, thank God. Oh boy, that thing's... For a hallway fight, that is rough. A second claw, usually fairly decent. Upgrade 2 random cards. Yeah, let's just do it. Unfortunately, it was a strike and a defend. I'm going to get aggressive here. Meh. Upgrade Tempest. I'm definitely not taking another elite, so we're coming this way. Vajra. Okay, Vajra's not bad. Not great, but it's just not bad. Cool-headed. Okay. Can I kill you this turn? Maybe? I mean, it doesn't really matter in this case. Going to die this turn no matter what I do. Can I? Okay, I can do that. Okay. That's what I wanted to see was, can I... Oh. Did they just die? Not quite. But it dies this turn, so... Thunder. Whenever you evoke lightning, deal 6 damage to each enemy hit. So... I mean, it's another power. Whatever. I'm gonna rest because I don't know. So now, subroutine seems better to take. It makes the that card free the next time I play it. Do more damage over the course of the fight. Beckon. At the end of this turn, if it's in your hand, what? Lose 6. Okay, so we want to play those cards for sure. We can play that for free. Tempest not exhausting is interesting for sure. Free. And we're now encouraged to evoke lightning orbs even more. We play Beckon. Strike, Tempest. Okay. Intangible. Oh, you punk. Huh. I mean, it's not attacking this turn, so... We have block. Does it say take... No, it says lose 6 HP, which is very different from take damage, right? Play that guy. Maybe we manage to win this somehow. This is potentially a win. You evoke for 5 block. And then we evoke 2 of those guys for 8 and 6. 16 each. No, 8 and 6 is not 16. That's 14. 14 and 14 plus 15. 28 plus 15. Not quite enough to kill it. Okay. I did my math wrong. It was 4 orbs, not 3. Well, we won the first round, but we're not in a great position yet. All right, so what do we got? We got Voltaic. Channel lightning equal to the lightning already channeled this combat. Okay. Adaptive strike and genetic algorithm. It'd be cool if this upgraded to retain. You know what? Let's take Voltaic. And what did Voltaic go to? Yeah, it no longer exhausts. Not bad. And we have enough gold. We're going to go right side probably. We got a bunch of campfire. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go right side. We need some help. Greetings, Beep. Not here to annoy me. What an unusual little construct. Upgrade 4 cards. Well... Add 1 brightest flame to your deck. You need 2 energy, draw 2 cards, lose... No. 4 wax relics. Every 3 combats, your leftmost wax relic will melt away. What do they do? It is not telling me what a wax relic does. I'm just going to upgrade 4 cards. We'll take... Draw 2 cards from this guy is okay. You know what? Thunder, sure. Maybe just my claws. Cool-headed and modded. Yeah, draw is powerful. Okay, I don't hate that. Definitely changes my pathing a bit here, though. I'm no longer as inclined. I still want some upgrades, so I'm still going to take it. Because there's a shop right there, which is very useful. If I could get Zap upgraded, that'd be pretty useful. I might be using my block potion this turn. Just from the get-go, let's just do it. Well, we get subroutine. Modded. We don't have to worry so much about this. So channels 2 lightning or channels 3 lightning. What could I get? I can get thunder. Did not. We got a claw though. That's nice. I think that ends up being more damage. So now we're looking at thunder. We have plenty of energy to play everything. We will actually destroy its block this turn, so we don't really need to block ourselves, but that's okay. Yeah, Voltaic actually pairs pretty well with Thunder. The start of next 2 turns. And a lightning. I like that. Yeah, it's like ball lightning, except it blocks. I need some block. Okay, that seems pretty good. Feral, the first time you play a 0-cost attack each turn, return it to your hand. Yeah, that seems good. All right. Ice Lance, channel 3 frost, so it's like what is it? Glacier? But an attack instead. Reboot's quite good. Regal Pillow, whatever. Cauldron, not bad. Enemies drop 10 additional gold, also not bad. Will I fight 19 more enemies? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to take Feral. That seems good with the claws. Specifically with claws, actually, it's quite good. And reboot's generally good. Maybe I remove a strike. Yeah, we'll call that fine. And metamorphosis. Remove a card for 9 HP. Well, I'm going to remove a card. It's going to be the unupgraded strike. Question mark. Remove 2 cards and add a normality. Enchant a card with perfect fit. Whenever this would be shuffled into your draw pile, place it on top. So basically, guarantee that it draws every time you shuffle. What would I want for that? I could give it to a claw, realistically. Like, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Voltaic, maybe? I could see it being useful there. And for cool-headed. I like the idea of it being on a 0-cost card, though. Sure. Why not? Sure, why not? We're taking a lot of upgrade. We're basically, by going to what we're going to, I am dumb. Okay. First things first, let's play this guy. Do a chunk of damage there. And then only bet is that this gives me... Yeah, it didn't give me anything. So no defense this turn. We're taking a lot of damage here. Should have used that at the beginning of the turn, but I didn't know, right? There was no way of necessarily knowing. So it's going to try and steal my card. What did it took? It took Thunder? Oh, yikes. We need you dead. Yeah, you need to go, like, bye-bye. I don't want to draw because I won't have the energy to play things. Yeah, you have to die. Excellent. Still channel... Yeah, you're dead. That was third turn. That was very helpful. Yeah, we want that stolen card back. Thunder is kind of important for us. Gain 9 block, add a dazed into your discard pile. No, I don't want any of those. What now? Feral? Yeah, just in case I get it early. It allows me to play other things. What can I do now? Can I fight? I can fight an elite if I go left. Oh, very, very useful here. The good claw upgraded. Alright, you got anything useful? Bulk up. Lose 1 orb slot, gain 2 strength and 2 dex. That's okay. I actually like that. Yeah. Innate and retain. Trigger all lightning against the enemy. Yeah? I'll try that. What were the colorless? Nothing useful. I mean, not... Sorry. Not nothing useful, but just not what I was looking for. Again, getting Zap upgraded will still be good. Getting Dual Cast upgraded still be good. But we're getting to a decent spot. What does this change to? 3 strength and dex? Okay. I feel like our relics are decent. I'm actually going to take this. What do you upgrade to? 6 damage. That's all? 6 damage? That's nothing. We're definitely looking at you. And subroutine, excellent. I would love to give that an 8. Okay. We got subroutine, so we get an energy back for this. What are these? Reduce all damage taken and HP lost to 9. So we can take a max of 9 damage per hit. You are doing the most here. Okay. We're getting some stuff done. We get Feral for free. Boom. And boom. Thunder. That'll work. Yeah, the only thing that I would like now is just focus. We get 9 damage on you is fine. 9 damage on you is fine. 9 damage on you is fine. Yeah, it's gonna die here. Excellent. No. Maybe. I haven't seen any other ways to generate focus, so it looks like focus for this turn only seems to be the best I could expect. Okay. Gives me dazed. They're basically... you get 2 of them. They're very similar to sentries, actually. So... my hope is... boom. Boom. Synchronize. Lightning Rod. It's actually not bad. Unfortunately, we did lose that, so it might behoove us to do that. So we don't get the focus card again. Subroutine goes off. Thunder goes off for free. Well, that worked. Voltaic will be very good now. And we'll get perfect. Oh, this is a 0 cost attack. Oh, interesting. So I can do 12, 16 damage twice. Or this guy. It's actually more damage, but I got all the cards that I would have wanted that turn, which is kind of cool. Boot sequence helps. It helps our first turn. But do we need to help our first turn at the moment? Sometimes. I'm going to skip. I'm going to upgrade this guy so that it cycles through our deck and we get it in any fight. Okay. Well, cool-headed. Boom, boom. I mean, I guess the Dark Orb scaling up a bit. Draw 1 fewer card each turn or take 6 damage. I think we have to do the draw 1 fewer card. I don't think we can afford 6 damage a turn. It stinks a little bit, and we don't have our one thing up. Okay. Probably want to use that guy. Order matters, and my order was bad there. Subroutine, thank you for showing up. Yikes. That's okay. This is actually kind of cool. This makes Voltaic, like, kind of ridiculous at this point, actually. It turns Voltaic into that again. So, we're going to draw our claw here. We can play for this. Voltaic is going to do an absolute monstrous amount of damage. And we have our Thunder up as well. It doesn't die here, does it? 12 times 8. Well, 11 times 8 plus 11 times 16. It dies. Right? Yeah. Wow. We can roast single targets down if we get the right draws. Oh my gosh. We didn't even get to the second debuff. That's the quickest I've killed that thing. I also took a lot of damage, to be fair, but gained 6 energy. I mean, yeah, that can matter. How many zero costs do we have? 3? Because I'm not counting this one. It increases its own cost. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you know, it's a card. Not a very good one. Super critical, maybe. Super critical paired with all for one would be very good if you haven't played it yet. I don't find that I need the energy on a given turn. And unless I had ice cream, which I don't have, this doesn't do anything for us. Unless I happen to draw it on the right turn. And I don't have a way to hold cards or to guarantee draw. I do have a little bit of draw. You know, fine. I have some draw in the deck. So maybe it's good. Add 1 enthralled to your deck. Gain energy at the start of enthralled. If this is in your hand, it must be played before other cards. Eternal. Again, we just... Yeah. 3 wishes. Put a card from your draw pile into your hand. So that's Seek. Right? That's just Seek. Start of combat. Put a random power from your draw pile into your hand. It's free to play. Oh, we're taking that. Yeah. There we go. We rely on our powers very heavily, and getting them off early is fantastic. So we just take that. I don't really need a lot of upgrades at this point. We're in a good spot. You know, yeah, I could upgrade the other claw for the fun of it. Otherwise, let's look for some elites. We're decently strong. Question marks are also really powerful. We can take at most 2 elites, it looks like. Decent amount of question marks. No shop, though. But, I mean, the question marks preclude the need for a shop sometimes. Yeah, okay, we're going to take this middle path. You know, this way. You get the gist. So, subroutine. Fantastic. We like that. We like it new. Block. Claw out. And 2 focus for 5 damage, or this for 6. Not much of a question here, right? Free. Is that only the first power card, or is that every power card? Whenever you play a power. Yeah, it's whenever you play a power. First 0 cost. I feel like getting rid of this guy is generally the best plan. Okay, this turn's probably going to hurt a bit. That helps. We do have Thunder out. Okay. Gain an orb slot. Tesla coil. Tesla coil. I could have zapped first. Wow. Okay. I feel like we have some power, you know? Sunder's not necessary. Leap. We are lacking a little bit in block, so I'm going to take a leap. Enchant an attack with corrupted. No, I don't care about that. Choose a card to transform. Sure. How about an unupgraded defend? Creative. No. No way. No way. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, game. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was very nice of you. Very generous, game. Add Clumsy to your deck and get a random relic. I think we're okay with that. Unplayable Ethereal. I don't see any shops coming up. I don't think there are any on this path that I can even veer off to at this point. Unless one of the next 2 question marks happens to be a shop. There's no way I can get to one. So let's take a random relic. Shovel. I can dig at a rest site for a relic. I very much like that because I'm running out of upgrades. Ooh. Tough. Oh my gosh. No way. Okay. Tough turn here. Ain't gonna lie. Doing the best we can. We're gonna lose some max HP here. This is actually the first time I've lost max HP to these things. These guys are at the end of your turn. If you have frost, deal 6 damage to all enemies. That's cool. Do I have subroutine out, right? I do. Okay, so that's free. Let's get an orb slot. Do I have feral out? I do. So this costs 1. That gives me some stuff. Ooh, okay, okay. Gain some energy. Play you. Play you. Play you. We also have feral out, so we can do 7 and 9. Well, I think we kill here. Goodbye. Another claw. And it's upgraded. It's not terrible. It's not what our deck does, though, at this point, is it? I mean, it does a lot of damage. But sometimes, at some point, we start gunking up our deck a bit more than we need to. Whatever. Might as well have fun with it, right? We're still at risk of losing at the moment. To something like this. Oh my gosh, why? Game, no. This hurts. This much hurt. Ow. Yeah, so this is the kind of thing that can kill us, right? First time you draw a status card each turn, draw 2. We would like to get subroutine out. Or anything at this point. 24 damage incoming. We can block it. It's not great. Hey, there you are. You exist. We got very hosed. We die, unfortunately, here. Exact damage. Yeah, we just... we got a little unlucky with draw, but it's just how we built the deck, unfortunately. That's okay. A lot of interesting new stuff there, though, for the defect. Honestly, like, that felt very... In some ways, yes, it was the same. It was the defect, but it was different in a lot of ways from the defect. And that's the same for every character so far, right? It's been the same, very similar, but different from the original game. And that's great. It's good that they were able to keep the feel of the characters still there, but make it different enough. Like, time will tell if that manages to continue, but I can already tell you, one of my biggest fears with this game was that it was honestly that it just wasn't going to live up to its hype, that it wouldn't be good enough as a sequel, right? Because it's hard to be a sequel to such a genre-defining, absolute behemoth of a game like Slay the Spire. It's so hard to live up to that kind of hype. Slay the Spire 2 here, because of how big Slay the Spire 1 was, other games had to change their release window. There was what game was it that changed its release window for Slay the Spire? Some roguelike. I think it's just a roguelike. I don't even think it's a card deck builder game. But it changed their release to a month later or something like that because they didn't want to compete with Slay the Spire. Like, that's how big that is. That's huge. There's only a couple games that I can think of that have done something like that, where the developer said, crap. They're releasing their game here. Well, we got to change our release time. So that's big, right? That's Elden Ring type level, but for, deck builder roguelikes. I'm sure the final release date of GTA 6 will be the same. I don't care for GTA myself. It's not my type of game, but I imagine that'll be something similar as well, right, for people. Developers and all that. They'll be like, well, we can't release around that because our game won't get anything. It's what happened twice twice to Guerrilla Games with Horizon Zero Dawn, and then Horizon... I can't even remember the name of the second game. Wow. I remember there's like Horizon New... What is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn? Oh my gosh. I'm actually a little sad that I can't remember that. Horizon Forbidden West. Is that it? Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West. Zero Dawn, the original one, I believe released within a week of Breath of the Wild, which was another console-defining game for the Switch, at the time, before Nintendo was just what it is. I mean, Nintendo was what it was at that point, I think, but it wasn't as widespread and widely known. But Forbidden West had the misfortune of releasing at the same time as Elden Ring, I believe. So both times they released a game, both of which were actually fairly good games by all accounts. I played Zero Dawn. I didn't play Forbidden West. And Zero Dawn was good. It was very good. Kind of unique with the robot thing. It was like you took a Ubisoft game, basically, and combined it with Monster Hunter. Quite good, honestly. It was fun. And it just didn't get as much love as it probably should have. It would have been thought of as a Game of the Year candidate if it hadn't released in the same kind of time frame as those other games, right? And in the same year, of course, as Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild, because those were obviously the best games of their years. Just like Clair Obscur was clearly the best game of last year. Anyways, rant aside, rant is a negative connotation, so that whole aside, let's read this. Chapter 3 of The Architect. Too many beasts of imagination began to populate Prion, and things aren't simple and fun anymore. The creatures didn't make sense. The monsters don't follow logic. Maybe there needs to be one which can create, destroy, and control this mess. An entity with its own imagination and will. Let's imagine such a being. The Architect, which is the ostensibly appears to be the big bad of this game, like the heart was in Slay the Spire 1. Gain 7 plating for 3 cost. That's a card, I guess. Not great. It's not bad, I guess. I wonder what it probably upgrades to 10 would be my guess. Which, you know, 3 costs for 10. Oh. What's the actual math out on that? 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus, you know, it's a lot of block. And if you can get replay on that so that it plays twice, that could be decent, actually. That could be really good. So it has potential. Jackpot. 25 damage, add 3 random 0-cost cards into your hand. I imagine also there's 0-cost colorless cards. That would be my guess. I could be wrong. There are colors inside of this corresponding to characters, so that very much might not be the case. At the start of your turn, gain 4 vigor. Your next attack deals additional damage. That's cool. I like that. I imagine that upgrades to 6 vigor. Again, you play this game long enough, you start to understand where they go with their numbers, right? This probably upgrades to maybe 30 damage. Could even be to 35 damage. Something like that, right? We won't see until we see it in a run. Next, what else could we... So we've unlocked random characters, I know. Oribus. Play a run with every character to reveal this epoch. Attracted by the now burning spire, Oribus curious... Wow, I can speak. Attracted by the now burning spire, Oribus' curiosity was piqued. Blight gone? Why gone? Safe to enter? Oribus enters. Okay. Unlocked Ancient Oribus. Living Rainbow may be swimming around in the second act. So I think the Ancients are the boss relics. I think that's what those are. Beat Act 2 with Defect to reveal this. So it's a Defect storyline thing. In the scrapyard, the Defect pondered its fate and purpose. Is being okay at a host of functions not desirable? Do we all need to excel at a distinct function? While processing these questions, hello, pops out another construct. Hello, Defect responds. My name is Flaw. We have Defect and Flaw. Alternate skin for Defect, maybe? So these are story things, little bits, you know, backstory stuff for characters. That's fine, whatever. I wonder if they hint at things as well. I think they do, would be my guess. Could this hint at maybe skins for characters? Or at another character? I would not hate... I mean, characters are fun, right? Data disk. Start each combat with 1 focus. So there is permanent focus. That does exist. We just haven't seen it. Okay, Symbiotic Virus. You get a dark at the start of the combat, 1 dark orb. And then Metronome. Yeah, first time you channel 7 orbs each combat, deal 30 damage to all of them. I don't think that was in the first game. What I've noticed with all of the relic unlocks for every character is I think the first 2 were always Slay the Spire 1 relics. And then the third one was a new relic for Slay the Spire 2. And I don't believe this was in the first one. That's actually really cool. And pretty easy to actually make happen. That's a darn good relic. Like, I was channeling 7 orbs pretty consistently within the first draw. Not the first hand, but the first cycle, right? So that's cool. One more down over here. Tricked. Be decked 1 with the defect. Yeah, I can speak. The defect. Niao resurrected the defective construct. No simple feat, even for an ancient. Yeah, I think that's our confirmation that an ancient is the boss relic stuff, right? Because Niao's an ancient, and I think the others are also ancients. So Niao resurrected the defective construct. Okay, construct. What you lost. Your creator abandoned you. Hides at the top. The defect thanks Niao and heads for the top, seeking answers. And we get loop, good, null. Deal 10 damage, apply 2 weak, channel a dark. So this is similar to Doom and Gloom from the first game, which was deal, I think it was 10 damage to all enemies and channel a dark. Now this is deal 10 damage and apply 2 weak and channel a dark. So it's kind of similar. Power, consuming shadows. Channel 2 dark. At the end of your turn, evoke your leftmost orb. Huh. Evoke your leftmost orb every turn, so you start running out of your orbs. Okay. I'm not sure about that. Anyways, folks, that's... So what characters have I won with? Just these two? I lost. Yeah, wow. Oh, and I can randomly choose a character now. So I'm torn now, right? Between whether I want to keep cycling and just go in a row, or whether I want to try and focus on the new characters. I think I want to keep cycling at the moment. So next run we'll probably start with Ironclad, but we'll see when we get there. Regardless, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you could, please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment down below, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks again, and goodbye.